Just when it seemed like the Epstein story had finally calmed down for the day, it exploded again, and this time, Donald Trump has every reason to be nervous. Jeffrey Epstein's brother has stepped forward with new information, and one particular image he shared is sparking even more questions than anyone expected. We'll get into that and the unsettling details behind it in just a moment. Before we dive in though, quick ask, if you're enjoying the coverage, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, it really helps keep this work going. Now, on top of these newly released emails that already paint an ugly picture for Trump, he was hit with another blow today. Congresswoman Adelita Grava became the decisive 218th signature to force the release of the Epstein files, and in her speech, she didn't hold back.
And while we celebrate this moment today, our American promise is under serious threat. Basic freedoms are under attack. Healthcare premiums are skyrocketing. Babies are being ripped away from their parents by masked agents. We can and must do better. What is most concerning is not what this administration has done, but what the majority in this body has failed to do. Hold Trump accountable as a co-equal branch of government that we are. It has been 50 days since the people of Arizona's 7th Congressional District elected me to represent them. 50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves. This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons. Our democracy only works when everyone has a voice. This includes the millions of people across the country who have experienced violence and exploitation, including Liz Stein and Jessica Michaels, both survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. They are here in the gallery with us this evening. Thank you for being here. Just this morning, House Democrats released more emails showing that Trump knew more about Epstein's abuses than he previously acknowledged. It's past time for Congress to restore its role as a check and balance on this administration and fight for we, the American people.
The person we were just talking about, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein. We just put up the meme that Mark Epstein sent to Jeffrey Epstein, a picture. Let me put it up one more time. This is Donald Trump's face, and it says, "Would you trust this man with your daughter?" There it is. You just spoke with the man who sent that meme to his brother. What did he say today?
Right. I'll actually be honest. I completely missed the segment because I was on the phone with him.
That's
and
good.
Just got up from off the street here. And I think we should be very clear here. Mark Epstein is somebody who has said that he is known for decades now that his brother had a deep, close friendship with with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And he said, the way that he put it to me, when are people going to admit to themselves, this guy, President Trump, is so full of every time he opens his mouth. He says he wanted to deny.
Starts with an S.H.?
It maybe does. He wanted to deny that he had a relationship or a friendship with Donald Trump. As Mark tells me, back in 1999, he was on the plane when they were having intimate conversation about women on a flight from Palm Beach, Florida, back up here to New York. He goes, he talked to his brother, somebody who he still cares deeply about even after his passing. And he says, at what point is there going to be a reckoning that Donald Trump just makes up stuff? And the number two part is that he's been very clear This is outside the scope of what we're talking about today, but he wants a full investigation into the death of his brother, saying he doesn't believe anybody at this point anymore. He said he did sit down, he just told me, with the House Oversight Committee here this summer. I said, did they call and ask you to come in and speak? He goes, no, I requested to. And he said he went into detail with staff, trying to get them, to compel them to go even further beyond just the relationship between Donald Trump and other men that were a part of this cabal, and to really get at the fact of why did people want Jeffrey Epstein gone. This also goes to a conversation I had with Mark over the summer when he told me that Steve Bannon had 15 hours of footage of him interviewing Jeffrey Epstein. We have not seen that footage. And I think it's also worth noting that Michael Wolff has said that he has up to 100 hours of audio recordings with Jeffrey Epstein. We have not heard those audio recordings from either of the men. And that is what hits at the heart that Mark Epstein is so frustrated by, that the public, including him as the brother, do not have a full understanding of what the Department of Justice has, or frankly, what either of these two other men have.
What do you think it shows you about what we know about Trump's relationship with Epstein?
Well, I think we've been seeing Republicans have been trying to deflect and imply that, even House Speaker Mike Johnson had insinuated a couple months ago that Trump was on some kind of secret mission. I think what these emails demonstrate is precisely why House Republicans have been trying to block the release of the Epstein files for months now. I think it illustrates in a very damning way, and I think it also implicates House Speaker Mike Johnson as well.
She talked about the dangers facing our democracy, the failures of Congress to hold Trump accountable, and the voices of survivors, two of whom were in the gallery as she spoke. She reminded everyone that it's long past time for real oversight, especially with new emails showing Trump knew far more about Epstein's abuse than he ever admitted publicly. And then came the bombshell from Epstein's own brother. Mark Epstein revealed an image he once sent his brother. Trump's face with the caption, "Would you trust this man with your daughter?" He told reporters he's known for decades how close Trump and Epstein really were, and described being on flights where the two openly talked about women in ways that now look even worse. Mark also said he doesn't trust the official story of his brother's death and has been pushing Congress to dig deeper, not just into Trump, but into the entire network of powerful men tied to Epstein. He even claimed Steve Bannon recorded 15 hours of interviews with Epstein, and that journalist Michael Wolff has up to 100 hours of audio, none of which the public has heard. According to Mark, that silence is exactly the problem. We still don't know what the Justice Department or these individuals are keeping behind closed doors. That question, would you trust this man with your daughter, hits harder when paired with the footage and stories we've already seen. Trump making inappropriate comments about teenage girls, joking about dating a child in 10 years, and hovering around beauty pageants filled with minors. Mark Epstein says Trump's behavior was so obvious it had become a running joke among people in their circle. The irony? Mark also says it was Epstein who eventually distanced himself from Trump, calling Trump a criminal and a phony. Imagine being so morally bankrupt that even Jeffrey Epstein didn't want to be associated with you. Meanwhile, more emails show Trump worried enough about the Clinton-Epstein angle during his 2015 campaign that he tried to drag Bill Clinton into the spotlight as a distraction. It's clear now that Trump was trying to muddy the waters long before any of this broke publicly. Democrats are pushing hard for transparency, urging independent media to keep the pressure on, and calling out Republican leadership for months of trying to block the release of these files. And they're right, this is not the moment to back off. There are tapes, documents, testimony, money trails, and unanswered questions that still haven't seen the light of day. And on this show, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep unpacking everything that comes out so the public knows what's really happening. If you stuck with me to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay loud, stay informed, and don't let anyone silence you.